Hi, you.
Hey,
It's so good to be here with you today. So good to be here with you today. Thank you for joining us. I'm Jack Walker. This is my gorgeous wife, Tiffany Walker.
oh, thank you.
And welcome to the Unstoppable Empath live show, where we are committed to helping you take your life, your empath life, to the next level.
Amen.
And it's all about you being the powerful you, being unstoppable, right? Today we're talking about introverts. Isn't that exciting? Raise your hand if you're an introvert. I definitely am one. Okay, so let's look over here at all of your gorgeous faces. June, it's been fun having a little chitty chat with you in Messenger. Thank you for all of your love. It's good to see you here on the call. Let's see. Jody, so glad that you're here. That's awesome. Kelly, love having you here. Linda, welcome from Wisconsin. Canada's in the house. We have a lot of awesome folks that join us from Canada. Adele loves your ring. Hi, Adele.
Thank you.
Yeah, she is covered. She is covered.
Yeah, I do love this ring. Thank you.
Hello from Colorado, Luann. What would we do without you, Cecilia? So glad you're here. Today, a little bit about Tiff and I. We are the owners of Thought Tracks Coaching and Healing. We've been doing mindset coaching and spiritual healing for 15 years. And we also do group work with empaths all around the world in our Empath Rise and Thrive group coaching and spiritual healing program. And we love our work. This is our mission. This is our passion and our purpose, to assist you in living your life in a bigger way, in whatever way you choose, because your dreams are yours and they matter tremendously. So today's topic is all about introverts, right? Because either you are one or you love somebody that is. And we need to have this conversation.
Can you see how I'm like this, trying to get up close to everybody? And you're pretty comfy where you are. Usually we have our camera, but it's because I'm the extrovert and you're the introvert.
That is so true.
It is.
One thing that you may not know, Tiff and I have a podcast, and we record the same topic as a podcast, and we always do it right before the live show. We do the same topic, but it's all recorded separately as a podcast. This podcast for this topic will be posted Tuesday morning, is when it gets loaded up into all of everywhere you listen to podcasts. It's the Unstoppable Empath. Imagine that. The Unstoppable Empath podcast with Tiff and Jack. We have an Instagram page, Tiff and Jack, go figure. And we have, we just want to show up everywhere that we can, reminding you how powerful you are, and reminding you and helping you have a deeper understanding of who you are, because there's a lot of power in understanding yourself. Self-awareness is key. Mel, we're so glad you're here all the way from Australia.
Hey, thanks, cool. Barb,
Leona,
about the hair. I appreciate it.
Are you getting loves about how gorgeous you are? Isn't Tiff just the most gorgeous?
Oh, babe.
I know.
I know. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
We have a few of you saying, I'm an introvert. Leona, I am an introvert. Luann, I am an introvert. I, Jack, am an introvert.
I am not an introvert. I do have my introvert moments, but it's really, really important that we talk about being an introvert, because 70% of highly sensitive people, empaths, are introverted. And there is a crazy oversimplification of what that actually means. And we're going to go into that in a few minutes after we do our tarot reading with the Rebel deck.
It's so crazy. Kathy said, I'm not one, but I do become one in crowds. Yeah, we'll be talking about that.
Okay.
Barbara is an introvert. Very cool.
Yeah, I think you'll probably get some information today that'll make you go, that's interesting. I didn't realize that. That's so much better. Thank you.
We just turned up the light on the computer so we can actually see your words and your faces. That's very nice. That's amazing. Okay, so now, like Tiff said, we're going to do the tarot deck card reading. The Rebel deck is loaded with the F word. So if you're offended by the F word, you probably wouldn't be here anyway, because we say it far too often.
Jack does.
Hey, so do you.
I say it
You're the one
private.
that taught me how to say it.
Well, that may be true, but I say it in private. I'm the one that is always a little, but if we're going to be real, Jack and I both talk like sailors, but we have a lot of really important things to say as well.
Well, that's a part of it. It helps us
really,
really make our point. Hi, Penny from Vegas. We're glad you're here. She said, I'm not an introvert, but my husband is. Great. This is
this is really
conversation.
Good. Okay. So here is our tarot deck.
See the unicorn with the circle through it.
Right.
Okay. So now is your opportunity. Tiff is choosing her question today. Now is the time for you to pick a question. It could be anything. What does the universe want me to know about whatever it is? Right. And come up with your question. And then Tiff's going to pull the cards. I'm going to read the cards. And then we would love for you to share with us what, if any of the cards resonated with you.
Okay.
Okay. Virgis, we're so glad you found us too. And we're glad we found you. We're glad we all found each other. It feels good, doesn't it? It feels good to be in a
Where's that message?
Right here, Virgis.
Oh, good.
Yeah, right there. Yeah, thank you for posting. And this, when we live stream, we're live streaming on our YouTube channel. We're live streaming on Tiff's personal page, my personal page, our business page, Tiff and Jack page, and then the Connected Empath. So wherever you're joining us from, you probably won't be able to see the other people's comments. So we'll make a point of, if you have questions as we go through the topic, or you make comments, I get to keep my eye on the comment thread to speak to those and to bring those up to the group so that we can all really discuss it and we can answer any questions. That's the beauty of this doing the live show, is that we get to engage, right? We get to see you, you see us. We get to know if you need clarification about something, or you want to share something that came up for you as we're talking. That's what this is all about. That's what it's all about.
Look, I drew the same card as last time. So
okay.
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 Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's interesting. Okay, so now 4 cards were pulled. Typically we do 3, but sometimes a 4th card wants to be pulled.
And can I just share something? We do our podcast right before we do this show. And I have the same question that I'm asking. And then I draw the cards for the listeners. Well, I just drew 2 out of the 4. 2 of them are the same that I drew for the podcast. So they're definitely something that I know that it is the very thing that I'm supposed to hear today. So we would like to know for you, which answer is your answer? Okay.
Okay. So Tiff, what was your question?
So my question is, what is it that the universe wants me to know today, with the underpinnings of what would you like me to understand mostly about food and my digestion? Because I'm having some vagus nerve issues happening and my digestion is a little whacked out. I do not need anyone's advice, so don't give it to me or I'll smack you. But the cards, it is really interesting because it's very clear that the universe is giving me the same message over and over. So this is good.
Okay. Card number 1. Fuck, shit is about to get real. You need your people around you.
Well, that's not for the introvert.
No, but
it is.
Card number 1.
It is. I'm just joking.
Okay. Card number 2. They broke your heart.
Ooh.
Fuck them.
Oh boy.
Yeah, that's rough. Eat your fucking vegetables. Eat some shit made by Mother Nature.
That's one of my cards. That's one of the ones I drew.
Ask a fucking expert. Don't rely on your friends or the internet. Listen to a damn professional.
Yeah, and Jack just made me a doctor's appointment today.
Yes, I did.
So there it is.
There it is. Okay, number 1, fuck's about to get real. Fuck, shit's about to get real. Fuck. You need your people around you. Right? Lots of fuck. Number 2, they broke your heart. Fuck them. Number 3, eat your vegetables. Eat your fucking vegetables. Eat some shit made by Mother Nature. Ask an expert. Don't rely on your friends or the internet. Listen to a damn professional.
Yep.
Okay, Rita, last 2.
Me too, Rita.
Lisa, number 2, they broke your heart. Big hug. Needed these. Oh, wow. What does the universe want us to know about what's going on in our universe? A whole bunch of things, right? Mel said, I know how you feel. I get a lot of great compliments, but that in itself can be draining. Kelly Percival, cards 1 and 3. Luann 3 and 4, Leona 1, 2, 3 and 4.
Woo!
June 1st and the veggies, Kathy Bell 1, 2 and 3. And there is a lot going on in our universe right now, and I really know for a fact I mean, we've all been under such an intense load, and it's going to be absolutely okay. We're going to make it through every single thing, all of us. And we've got our people around us, and together we can send a whole load of light and possibility in our intention that all of us and everywhere that we are, in the countries that are under siege, in the countries that are the siege, but they're the people within that country that are being affected deeply, and the love that we can just send it out right now.
Let's just take 15 seconds.
Let's take 15 seconds and everyone just see absolute possibility, love, light, hope, support that every person on this planet can trust that beautiful intuition, that they can see and know exactly what to say and do and where to go and what not to do and how to do it, that the channels will be open, that we can all see and hear deeply. And love, 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 love one another. Because that's the only thing that's real, is love. Good. Yeah, good.
That feels good.
It does. All right, now that we've just grounded and calmed, all just quieted it all down, right? It feels good. We're going to talk about being an introvert.
Before we do, because
Yes.
this is my specialty, we're going to share just a tad bit about ourselves so that you know who we are a little bit. I am a full-blown empath. Jack is a highly sensitive person. The big difference is empaths absorb energy into their muscles, tissues, and cells, and highly sensitive people do not absorb, but they have very similar characteristic traits. That's just the big difference right there. Jack and I have been together for 15 years, been running our practice, and we have 6 children, and they all have their person, and we have a grandchild that is 7 years old this year. And we have a practice here in Salt Lake City, Utah, and our online presence. And we just have a lot of amazing things going on to help empaths learn how to live their most empowered life and create the life that they want. And it's a really amazing life. And we love to be here each week with all of you to connect on an energy level, and for us to be able to teach you things that will give you knowledge, because we truly believe that knowledge is power. We don't believe it, we know it. Knowledge is power. And the more knowledge you have about this beautiful creation that you are, the better life will become for you and the people that love you and the world at large, because empaths are the healing force on this planet. And thank God for all of us, because we made a decision before we were born that this was what we were going to experience and to share with the world. And here we are. It's not always comfortable, but when you get knowledge, you have more ability to make empowered choices for yourself. And it's going to be amazing the more you understand and the more you learn about how amazing you are.
Amen.
Should we be done?
Well,
No,
probably not.
no.
Probably not. June, what were we
I know,
thinking?
right, June? How many of you have asked, what was I thinking?
Good idea.
Living in this calling of being an empath. And it is a calling, my friends. Many people say it is a curse and it's a terrible thing. And it's just because they don't quite yet understand how amazing it is. But we're here, Jack and I, to help change that in the world. Okay. So there are extroverts and there are introverts and there are ambiverts. We are going to talk about extroverts and ambiverts next week. Today that just came to me.
There we go.
So today we're going to be talking about the blessings or the advantages of being an introvert. Now, here's the deal, guys. This might blow your mind. I'd like to know if this is news to you. Okay. So there's the talk of extroverts and introverts. And a lot of times people say, oh, extroverts are outgoing and introverts are loners and shy. And here's the deal. This is a big misunderstanding. And It's an oversimplification of what's actually going on. The truth is that introverts, all it means is that you recharge by being alone. Extroverts recharge by being with others. Here's the kicker. Many people think that introverts are naturally shy. And this is what I believed. I believed that introverts, it meant being shy and that it could be overcome and they could get rid of the problem of being an introvert. This was many, many years ago before I really understood deeply about empaths, because 70% of empaths, or highly sensitive people, are introverted and 30% are extroverted or could be in the ambivert area. So I just thought it was very interesting because Jack is an introvert and he is the furthest thing from shy ever. And I am an extrovert and I am shy. So how many of you did not understand the difference? Please share. This was news to me when I learned this, because I am an ambivert, heavily leaning on the extrovert side. And so I've always been a little confused about myself until I really began to understand that being shy has nothing to do with any of it. Being shy, the reason I'm shy is because I run so much energy. I never quite know what I'm walking into wherever I go. And being a psychic medium and an energy healer and, all the things that come along with all of those gifts, I never know what I'm walking into. So I'm a little apprehensive sometimes when going into big public places. You'd never think that I was shy because I'm such an extrovert. And people are like,
you are such an extrovert.
You're not shy. I'm like,
yeah, kind of.
I am. Okay, so there you have it. And now we're going to talk about the advantages, because being an introvert is really a beautiful thing.
Did you talk about the difference between being recharged by being alone?
Yes.
You were just discussing that?
No, I just talked about it all. What were you doing?
Yeah, I was just thinking about you being such an extrovert. Yeah, I was one of those introverts that just thought something was wrong and I needed to be different and fix myself and try to, as soon as I realized it was just about, the only thing it means is that I recharge by being alone, it made a huge difference in my world.
Yeah. So really quickly, Lisa, yes, an ambivert is that you're both. It depends on the scenario and the situation. And we'll be talking in depth about that next week. So yes. Let's see. Yes, my husband is not shy. I am more shy. So I'm guessing you're probably extroverted. And there is an idea out there that all empaths are introverts. That's not true.
No.
But I would say the majority are. And I just happen to not be one of those. And Jack is definitely that. So let's talk about with my trusty notes. These are out of order. Bear with me, my friends. Thank you for your patience. You told me to today to make sure and put numbers on, and I did. And thank goodness, because you're so damn smart. All right, here we go. Introverts rarely need someone else to motivate them. Do you want to speak to that?
I never need anyone to motivate me. I just feel very motivated because I know what I want and where I'm going, and I spend a lot of time with myself. And being motivated is just something so easy. I never have had the feeling of needing someone else to give me motivation.
So one of the things here is that if you want to do something, you'll usually find like a self-help video on YouTube, a book, you'll listen to a podcast, you'll get your own answers. And it can be a little tricky asking others for help because you don't really want to deal with other people when you don't have to. So that's what happens. Would you agree?
Yes. Yeah,
Yes.
I just think of everything in terms of energy, and it's just so much easier just to do it with me.
Someone was just saying, I want to be an extrovert, but I'm not. Well, being an introvert really does have its perks. And I have to say, I really benefit from those perks being married to an introverted person. And so,
Barbara, I love the self-help section in the library, right?
yes.
It's amazing.
Yeah. So, yeah, you'll do really well at figuring things out on your own and typically not asking for help unless it's absolutely necessary. You always amaze me because when you come home, you're very you've learned all kinds of things just by watching, reading, all of that.
Yeah, I'm driven to do it.
Yeah. So there you have it. You don't need people to motivate you. And I'm super grateful that Jack doesn't need me to motivate him because I have to motivate myself.
And I'm finding it really, I'm finding it really fascinating because with Tiff and I, we just did our podcast and I felt super out and loud because it was like our podcast. As soon as we get on here, Tiff's energy goes, whoa,
It does.
and gets very alive and very excited. And I feel my energy kind of go
I
more
know.
into
I'm
a
like,
quiet
come on.
place. I know. Yep.
I'm like,
there you
on.
go. Living color. Extrovert, introvert. Extrovert, introvert.
The podcast usually makes me go,
and I'm like, woo, this is great.
That's because we're not engaging with all the energy.
Yeah.
And it really has nothing to do with being afraid of people. It doesn't have anything to do with that you don't like people.
No.
It's just an energy
It
thing.
is an energy thing.
Okay. So the next one is you rarely feel lonely.
Yeah, I don't feel lonely. What about you, introverts? What about you? Do you feel lonely? I don't feel lonely. I feel really good when I'm alone because I can recharge. Now, if I never was with Tiff, I'd be devastated. I would not feel very good.
Because you miss me every second of every day.
Yeah. And Mel, you said, do you both have your boundaries with each other when it comes to recharging? Yes. We're going to speak more to that as we go through. We have really good boundaries and we understand one another very well. And Kelly Percival, I never really feel lonely. And I know you're an introvert because you said, and isn't that an interesting thing? Like, it just feels good. Like, it feels good. And Rita, very rarely feel lonely. Marianne, I do at times, but then times I like to feel lonely. And Marianne, I think you said you're an ambivert, didn't you? Or extrovert?
Yeah, she did say
okay,
ambivert.
yeah. Because I would guess just from your energy, it feels like you would push more towards
extrovert. Yeah,
extrovert.
I would say all the way you are an empath extrovert that needs some downtime. Like me, because you've just got that fun, wild energy. But speaking to us balancing and having boundaries with each other, we have it really dialed in because I know that Jack has to have his alone time to recharge, and my energy is really, really strong, and I can feel how strong my energy is, especially when I'm around Jack, and he's like listening to me, and then he's kind of like this and goes to sleep. I am an energy vampire to Jack called the nonstop talker. So we do have plenty of time apart. We really do love being together. But we have to pay attention to our energy needs, and we have those what people would call uncomfortable conversations. We've been together long enough to know that it's really important to have those conversations and to get good at having them so that we can have the kind of marriage that we love.
Yeah. I was just thinking about how balanced we are because Tiff she'll wake up early in the morning, 3-ish in the morning. And then she's awake for a little while and I'm sound asleep. I'll sleep until I wake up all night long. And then I wake up, she's awake for just a little bit and then she goes back to sleep. And usually when she goes back to sleep is when I get up and get my day started. And I love my morning routine of having that quiet open space and it just works really well.
Yeah.
On the mornings that Tiff randomly gets up and her energy's in the house, it is very off-putting. I don't quite know what to do with myself.
You don't, because you look like a deer in the headlights. You're like this.
What is happening right now?
I'm like, what is going on with you? Like, have I infringed on your space?
Kinda.
Yeah.
Kinda. It's really, where did I talk about the mornings?
We'll be talking about that at the very end.
I'll save that for a minute.
So you may be happy to see your friends and your family and the people that you love. But you don't always need to see them. And it's okay for you to be able to say, I love you. I think about you. and I don't need to see you maybe as much as you need to see me. So there are things that you can do. You can send handwritten letters to express your love. You can text. You can do video texting. And Jack was just teasing me because I'm like, I do video texting. I do video texting all the time. And he said, honey,
it's a different kind of video texting that she
it's not
does.
the same.
Like I'll send a message or a voice message. I rarely would just do a video message, but I'll send a voice message. I very much cherish my relationships, my connections. And I also have the rare privilege and gift that she likes to maintain and keep that connection alive. And then we all will do something together. And I'm grateful because otherwise I probably would be more isolated without you and all of your
because you don't get lonely.
Yeah, because I don't get lonely and I just find myself, me and me.
Me and me.
Me and me.
If I wasn't here, though, I would come through from the other side and wake you up at night.
Absolutely.
Because then you couldn't really do anything about it.
I know how to shield.
Oh, right.
I won't shield from you.
Okay. The next one is you're less affected by competition. And it's because you are quietly confident in what works for you. How many of you feel quietly confident in what works for you and you just know what works? And if you don't know what works, you'll figure it out and you're okay. And you don't feel the need to compete with others. Please share. Tell me about you.
Yeah, you have it so dialed in with yourself that it's not about being better than another person. Not for me, at least. It just feels like I'm always in competition with myself and my own best and like reaching my own best and reaching beyond that and doing more and being bigger in my expression. But I'm not thinking about how can I beat that person? Because that's just too much energy. Kelly, this is so interesting. Kelly Percival, no need to compete. You're definitely talking about my husband. Yeah, this is awesome for you. I'm not sure who you are, right? But because we only see Facebook user, but right now to really understand the energy differences between an extrovert and an introvert will really help you love and accept yourself or the people that you love easier.
Isn't it fascinating that we're seeing all these introverts, no need to compete, no competition ever, never need to compete.
Wild, isn't it?
Confident in myself. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, Rita, my competition has always been with myself, which made me feel like a weirdo.
Yeah, you're not.
No.
It's just one of the gifts that you have as this introverted empath. And man, I'm glad that you have that. I typically am not in competition either, but probably for different reasons than being introverted, because I have some introverted moments, but I am typically quite, I wear myself out with my extroversion actually, and then I have to have introverted time to recover.
Right.
So that's kind of the ambivert thing. We'll talk more about that. Because you have this ability, you can sometimes isolate so much that you have a hard time saying yes. How many of you introverted beauties or handsome people find that no may be the first thing that comes out of your mouth before a yes? Please let me know. Okay, because one of the practices they say is to have an open mind so that you can experience more out of life and say yes sometimes to things that may feel a little uncomfortable because it expands you. Okay. Talk about you and how it is for you, because you're a person that really lives in a way of saying yes.
Yeah, but I feel like it's two different things. So when it involves other people, I'll typically say no. When it's just me and myself and something new that I'm learning or doing or expanding, it's always a yes. But it's the part that actually brings you into relation with other people that is like my knee-jerk reaction would be no, 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 no. Like, do you want to go here? Do you want to do this? Do you want to have this experience? Do you want to go to this party? My knee-jerk reaction is no. But I've learned very, very well that once I get there, I have a great time. It's really great. I don't feel shy. I have great conversations. I get to know people better. I get to see the people that we love. And then I get drained as fuck. And then we have to go home because I'm really, really tired and need a break. But that's where my no, and somebody else, I think it was, said, I have a very hard time saying no. I can't say no. Maybe Barbara, you had said I can't say no. And I'm wondering if that's when people are wanting something from you, which
Yeah.
is an empath thing and another kind of another
Yeah, it is a
conversation.
different thing than what we're talking about here. So it's like, it's easy to say no when someone says, hey, let's go to the bar, or hey, let's do this, or hey, let's get out and do this. Typically introverts will be like, I'd rather just stay home with myself and enjoy life, especially if you're out in the working world, which, you know, being introverted and working, you can feel pretty drained in the evening. So there are some things that you need to do to make sure that you feel recharged so you can get out there and enjoy different experiences and relationships, but you are going to be different. You can't just decide to be an extrovert. You have to take time and to know that you're an introvert and it's okay. And all it means is you just need time to recharge by yourself. Then you're recharged and you can go out and live your life out in the world.
I remember when I was a kid, I would always, if I got invited to a party, I would say yes. You know, I'm like, yes, I'm going to go. And then the closer I got, the more I didn't want to go. 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 Holy cow, I didn't want to go. And typically my mom would say, you're going. And I'd go and I'd have a great time. But if it was a sleepover, I'd always want to come home before the sleepover time. And I just, if I went away when I was a kid, I would get so homesick and wanted to just be back in my house. So those are all introverted ways.
Yeah. It's so different than, I wonder if we would have met as teenagers, what that would have been like. You probably would have went, oh man. I had way more energy.
I like you and I want to touch you and I need a nap now because you're a lot of energy.
I like you. I want to touch you. And
and Luann, good for you. Before 2008, it was a lot of no. From 2008 on is when I started to say yes. Good job.
Good.
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean you have to say yes to everything. Just push yourself a little.
Yeah. To engage maybe just a little bit more and then have impeccable self-care time.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely. Yeah. Okay. The next one, you're not usually bored. How many of you introverts don't usually get bored?
Don't get
Please
bored.
share.
I don't get bored.
You'll oftentimes keep yourself occupied and you'll have a tendency to get in the zone. And so you can exclude other things that will give you balance because you're so in the zone and you don't get bored. Kim's like, no, I'm never bored. Me, don't get bored.
That's awesome.
Interesting.
Okay, so all of you nevers and me and I don't get bored. Are you all introverts? Would you say you're an introvert?
For sure.
Rita amuses herself. Good job, Rita.
I know that's true about you, Rita.
Don't notice boredom. Never bored. Never ever.
Isn't this just fascinating? And it's awesome to not be bored. I rarely get bored, but I do get stir crazy, which is probably boredom. And I just have a different name for it. By the end of the week, you know, and working and being here by myself, I'm like, I am ready to party. Yes, I have to get out.
June, are you an introvert or an extrovert? June. I'll wait and see what you say. I'm just curious. Annette, I do get bored. I need variety and I don't have much focus nowadays. Okay.
Annette, are you an extrovert? Or would you say that you're both?
Okay. Oh, June's an ambivert. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can feel that from your energy.
Yeah.
Mel, me. I always have to have something going on in my head to keep me occupied. June, more so extrovert, ambivert, more so extrovert.
Yeah.
Facebook user, I'm both. I don't usually get bored, but I get a big need to see people and then go crazy and all out. I'm so good alone, but so good out when I want to be out.
That's the
awesome.
ambivert. That's me.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Annette is an introvert.
Yeah. And I don't need large amounts of time being alone where, sometimes an introvert can really have quite a lot of time being alone and be okay. And people are like, you know, you need to get out there. I remember one of our sons is a serious introvert. Okay. The most lovable, awesome kid ever. And he liked to be in his room doing his own thing. And we just felt really strongly like if that's what's the most comfortable to him. I mean, we made him work. We made him go out into the world and work so we could, get him prepared for life, which thank God we did that. And so he'd go and then he'd come home and be in his room. And sometimes he would go with his introvert friends and have deep experiences, and then come back home and go back in his room. And it was just really normal for him. And I remember an extrovert neighbor of ours said, I noticed that your son's always in his room because I can see him through the window. And he goes, you need to get him out there to get stuff done. And I just want to smack him and say, we know exactly what we're doing. And he is an introvert and he's living his life, but he's living it on his terms, which works best for him. And we're not going to interfere with that and say, oh, you have to get out there and be an extrovert.
Amen. Yeah, this is important to know about your kids.
Mm-hmm.
And Trish, oh, good, Trish, that was you. She said, I don't usually get bored, but I get a big need to see people and go crazy and all that. That is so you, isn't it? Yeah, that's awesome.
Okay. The last one the trait that we're going to talk about today is you think things through. So you're a deep reflector. So how many of you deeply reflect before you respond? Please share. And I'm very much the opposite of that. So Jack and I have had some pretty wild misunderstandings because, and I've said this to him, I don't know how many times.
Are you ignoring me?
I'm like, so you're just going to ignore me now? And he's like, I'm not ignoring you. I'm thinking about it. And I'm like, well, what's to think about?
Marianne said, oh, hell no. I don't sit and think things through. I just say it the way it is. God damn it. Luann, yes, most definitely. Kelly, deeply reflective and thinker.
Right.
June, I fly off the seat. Deb, me is a deep reflector. Leona, yep. Barbara, yes, deep. Trish, I reflect a lot now, but I didn't before. Interesting.
Yeah. So here it is, folks. One of the things that the challenges that can come from this is if you're deeply reflecting in a conversation or a group of people, oftentimes when you get to the point where you want to respond, the conversation has moved on or you may be so overwhelmed, like, okay, what is the last 50 things that you said? Because you're still thinking of the very first thing. So one of the ways to manage that is to, if you're in an important conversation with your significant other, someone, a friend or business associate or whatever, you can jot down points that you'd like to talk to. You may not be able to get to it at that moment, but you can at some point. But you could be so bombarded with how fast someone else is responding and talking that it can just cause all kinds of cray-cray. So there are ways to work with this, and taking notes or just jotting down a few points that are relevant to speak to can be a very, very helpful thing. Okay. And also people that you're having a communication with, let them know I'm reflecting on this and I need some time to think about it. And can we just talk about one thing at a time? Because that really does help the empath that is the introvert, is just talking about one thing at a time instead of several. So those are the conversations you can have with your friends and loved ones, because, it's important to be able to communicate well. And introverts typically need time to really reflect. And extroverts typically can talk about a lot really fast and make decisions and just do it.
There's a lot of resonance on both sides, and you can really see the energy of all of you here with us, and which are extroverts and which are introverts, and how we're really different. There's a lot of difference. Deb said, tell them to pause and rewind.
Yeah, that's a great way to do it.
It actually is.
It's like, wait, stop. Okay, I need a minute to get this. Go back.
Rita said, even if I manage to keep the mouth shut, the face has discovered a way to convey what I'm really thinking. Damn it.
I share that. I don't know if it's a gift or a curse. Okay, so now we've talked about some of the advantages and benefits. Now, there are 3 questions I want you to jot down to ask yourself. Okay, number 1, how do I best energize myself? We know you're alone for the introvert, but what is it that you're spending your time doing? And that's the next question. No, that is not the next question. How do I do it? So get really clear on that. Why don't you share?
Okay, this is where my morning routine is the best part of my day. It's where I get my energy reboot for the whole day. And it's when I get up, Tiff and I, she usually has been up for hours, like I said, and then I wake up, we have our time together, and then she goes back to sleep. And that's when I get up, I go get my exercise in, I straighten up the house, I unload the dishwasher. These are my things. These are the things I do. Turn on the lamps, open the blinds, get the house ready for the day.
Lucky
And
me.
then I will do my writing. I'll do my brain dump. I'll do my clearing my limiting beliefs and really do that time with myself and exercise, get ready for the day, and then go to the office. And I love it. I love that time of day. But if she's up in it, it just sets me off on the wrong foot. So hard.
So I'm a prisoner to our bedroom.
I feel so awkward. It just feels all disjointed. And I just end up like, well, I guess I'll just go to the office now. Like, what's happening?
Yeah, we've learned this really clearly in the last little while because a few weeks back, I decided that I was just going to take Jack to work and come home. And because we live so close to our office, we just have one vehicle because it works best for us and the environment and all sorts of things. So I'm like, oh, I'll just take you to work because I work from home, but I just wanted to run a bunch of errands that day. And I got up and it was just kind of a last minute decision. I didn't think anything about it. But by the time we got in the car, he was so, I don't even know what to call
Disjointed is the best word.
Yeah. And pissed.
I was all out of sorts.
He was out of sorts and pissed as shit. And I said,
I wouldn't say pissed.
Yes, you were. I remember saying, I
was just trying to figure it all out. I wasn't.
You're like, well, I couldn't take my vitamins and I didn't get a chance to drink my 4 cups of water and I couldn't do this and I couldn't do this and I didn't get any exercise or writing done and I haven't done my writing in a few days. And I was like,
oh boy.
Oh. I said, I had no idea that you do all those things in the morning. Like it was a get real conversation. And I didn't realize how important his rituals and routines in the morning are. So we're going to have to plan ahead if I am going to take him to work in the morning, which I never do that because I like to get my second sleep because my sleep is fragmented. Being such a wild medium at night, I never sleep through the night. So it's never an issue. But sometimes I'm like, oh, I've got a wild hair. I've got extra energy. I'm just going to go and shop all day. He's like, wait, you are interfering. And I said, why didn't you say something to me that you needed extra time? And he's just very thoughtful and kind to me. And he's oftentimes will, make sure I'm comfortable before he's comfortable. And then I got mad at him about that.
So here's the deal.
Here's the deal.
Make sure and get that time for yourself every day. And if you're a parent of an introverted kid, oh my God, what a gift to help them understand this about themselves and really identify when that little kid of yours or that grown kid of yours really needs some space to regenerate their energy. And like Tiff said, maybe they need a little more time in their room alone. Or maybe, and we might have all of our stories about what that means about us or our kids or, oh no, they're going to not be a good citizen of, in the society and oh my God, whatever. But this is where we get to be really good to ourselves and identify what we need and take the time to do it.
So that is the next question. How often do I do this? And you'll probably need to do it every day. I know as we teach empaths, you have to take time to recharge every day. And that means to recharge every day.
You know what Lori said, this is so great to hear. Now I understand why I get out of sorts and grumpy when my husband sits and watches me clean.
Yep.
That is my brain's alone, relax time. That is your recharge time.
It is.
And if you don't have that alone time, it sets your energy off because you haven't recharged. It's just like a battery that's been drained. It's like you don't have a lot to give. And you're all out of sorts, Jan, right? You understand me and I understand you. Rita, I need 1 hour at least in the morning or the bear in me is raging all day.
Can I just say something super funny? I noticed that one morning I was talking about where I was like, oh, I know Jack gets out of the house and, I don't want to get in his way. So I hurried as fast as I could. And I got my clothes on. I got my coat on and my purse. And Jack's like, kind of moving around downstairs, getting a bunch of stuff done. And so I just stood in the kitchen with my purse and watched him do all the rest of his things. And I'm like, why does he feel so energetically off? Like, what is going on? Am I like causing a problem here?
I didn't have the blinds open. I didn't have the lamps on. I hadn't taken my vitamins. I didn't drink my quart full of water with a little sea salt in it. I didn't have time to like put the dishes away and get things all sorted out, pack my lunch.
And I think I said to him, I said, don't worry about doing the counters. I'll do it later. And he's like, okay.
Okay.
We get in the car and I'm like, wow, we have and I don't think he had a very good day that day.
No, it was a rough day. It was rough, really effing rough.
Yeah. So
day.
now I just
figured it out. And this is a really important conversation. This conversation and really understanding this about each other, about yourself, about other people that you love is going to help your life.
And now I know why you're so happy to tuck me back in at bed.
Oh, I love to tuck you back in.
Me take my little rest time so that you can have your introvert time.
She has her front pillow, her back pillow, her pillow between her knees, her sheet, her blanket, her duvet, her down comforter, her really soft blanket, her really heavy blanket. So it's all just weighted just right. We've got the air purifier running at the right speed. God, do I sound a little OCD or what?
No, that's me.
I know, but I'm the one that has to do it for you so that I can go do what I want to do.
Yeah. He's like, I'm going to make you very, very comfy in here. Do you need some water? Do you need a treat? What do you need?
Do you need some yogurt?
I'll bring you anything you want. You just tell me. And then I'm like, this is the life. This is so
And then I
good.
go downstairs and I'm like, this is the life. This is so good. And then when I'm walking out, I get in the car, drive to work. Everything in the world feels right.
Right. For both of us.
And that's the need of an introvert and recharge time.
Oh, gosh. Okay. So the 3 questions, I haven't asked the third one, but you'll get it at the end of this. So how do I best energize myself? How often do I do this? I'm telling you every day. And how do I make more time for it?
Yeah, really be proactive.
Because empaths oftentimes do not take enough time for themselves because they're busy taking time for other people. And then after 30 years of doing that, they feel pretty gross in their body. So I'm telling you, you have to make time for yourself. Nobody's going to give it to you unless it's an introvert trying to get some time alone. Okay. Oh, that was some good laughing.
Wow. Are you all energized?
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, I think I'll go ground a little bit. What a funny thing. What an interesting thing.
Oh, everyone, thank you for being here. And you, the viewer and the listener to this, thank you for being here and interacting. Your interaction with us is very beneficial for the interaction with the whole group. So you being here makes a big difference for everyone else. And of course, for yourself, because we're interacting and teaching things that are really important because you know what I always say, knowledge is power.
All the way. Thank you. If you're not a member of our Connected Empath Facebook group, that's our free Facebook group. It's fun and it's light and it's powerful. So come and join. We invite you to come and join us there. Make sure and take good care of that introvert energy of yours. If that's who you are or the people that you love, now you know, right? Now you know. Love you guys. Everyone have a beautiful day. Oh my God, we love your love. You guys have such a great dynamic with each other. Thank you, Mel. Reminds me of me and my partner. Beautiful. Thank you for all the love. Your love is coming into us and we're sending our love right back out at you. Have a beautiful day, everybody.
Bye, everyone.